What if your money could wake up before you do and start working for you? Not someday, not years from now, but every single month, starting in 2026. What if the biggest risk you're taking right now is doing nothing, watching time pass while others quietly build assets that pay them whether they show up or not? This is not a book about luck. It's not about overnight success, and it's definitely not about chasing fantasies. This is about a shift, a moment in history where those who understand assets separate themselves from those who trade time for money forever. Picture this. You wake up, you check your phone, and income has already arrived. Not from a boss, not from permission, but from systems you built with intention. This is Build Assets That Pay You Monthly in 2026, a roadmap for turning effort into ownership and ownership into freedom. Because the question is no longer if the world will change. The real question is, will you still be working for money, or will money finally be working for you? Now, let's begin the audiobook. If you are ready, let me open the very first page of this journey. Chapter 1. The Silent Shift Happening in 2026. The year is 2026. A silent shift is sweeping across the world, and it's invisible to most. People go about their daily lives, working long hours, paying bills, hoping for a promotion, or dreaming of a raise that never seems to come. Yet, right under the surface, the financial landscape is transforming. A new era of wealth creation is emerging, where the old methods, trading hours for dollars, working tirelessly without ownership, no longer guarantee security. You might ask yourself, why now? Why 2026? The answer lies in the convergence of technology, information, and opportunity. Automation is reshaping industries, digital platforms are giving rise to new income streams, and the very concept of work is being rewritten. By the time most people realize the rules have changed, the opportunity to build assets that pay monthly will have passed or will be dominated by those who acted early. Think about it. In the past, wealth often meant climbing the corporate ladder, owning a home, or investing in traditional stocks. But today, those methods alone are no longer enough. Inflation eats away at savings. Unexpected crises disrupt markets, and reliance on a paycheck leaves you vulnerable. The silent shift of 2026 isn't just a change in the economy, it's a change in the mindset required to survive and thrive. So what exactly is this shift? In one word, ownership. Not just owning things, but owning systems and assets that work for you every single month without you being there. This isn't a theory, it's a reality for anyone willing to understand the patterns, leverage the tools, and embrace the long-term game. Let's make it very clear, working harder won't cut it anymore. Long hours at a job, grinding endlessly and hoping for raises is no longer the path to financial freedom. In fact, it's the trap. Why? Because your income is limited by time. There are only so many hours in a day, and when you're trading your life hour by hour for money, you are capping your potential. Meanwhile, the world's richest people are using something you might overlook: leverage. Leverage is not just a business term, it's the force that turns ideas into income, effort into ongoing cash flow, and small beginnings into massive freedom. And leverage is available to anyone regardless of age, location, or background, but only if you understand how to use it. Imagine this for a moment. What if every month, without fail, you could generate income while you sleep, travel, or spend time with family? What if the money wasn't tied to your presence, your energy, or your daily effort? That is the power of asset-based income, and it's what 2026 is offering like never before. But to seize it, you must act with knowledge, strategy, and courage. Now let's explore why most people remain blind to this shift. The answer is simple: habit, comfort, and outdated beliefs. Most people were taught to save, invest cautiously, and rely on jobs. There's nothing inherently wrong with saving or investing, but relying solely on them without building actual income-generating assets is like trying to cross a river with a single stone. One misstep and everything can be lost. The silent shift of 2026 rewards those who build multiple stepping stones, assets that continuously pay regardless of external circumstances. Here's an example. Consider someone who starts a digital subscription business. The initial effort is significant. They create content, build a platform, and market it. But after that initial work, each new subscriber adds to monthly income, often without additional hours spent. That's the beauty of modern assets. Your effort compounds, and your income continues long after the work is done. Contrast that with someone earning the same amount in a traditional job. They must work every month without fail to earn the same income, and if they stop working, the income stops. The opportunities today are wider than ever. Technology has lowered barriers that used to take decades to overcome. With access to online marketplaces, digital tools, automated systems, and global audiences, nearly anyone can build an asset that produces consistent monthly income. But here's the key: access alone doesn't create wealth. Knowledge, strategy, and execution do. Without understanding the underlying principles, you risk wasting time, money, and energy and being left behind while others quietly build their freedom. And this is where mindset plays a critical role. To succeed in this new era, you must think differently about money, work, and time. You must stop equating effort with reward and start focusing on ownership and leverage. You must see beyond the paycheck, the traditional promotion, and the comfort of just enough. Because in 2026, the stakes are higher, the rewards are greater, and the competition is smarter than ever. Now, imagine the ripple effects if you fail to adapt. Every year, inflation rises, job security erodes, opportunities that exist today may vanish tomorrow, and those who cling to old methods will be left behind, watching as others quietly generate wealth from assets they created years ago. This isn't fear-mongering, it's reality. The silent shift is not waiting for anyone. It moves on relentlessly, rewarding the prepared and leaving the unprepared struggling to catch up. But here's the good news. The same shift that threatens the unprepared also creates massive opportunities for those who understand it. The next 12 chapters of this book will guide you step by step, teaching you what assets to build, how to structure them for monthly income, and how to avoid the traps that stop most people from achieving financial independence. By the end, you won't just understand the shift, you'll be ready to act and build your own monthly income machine in 2026. Remember, wealth isn't just about money, it's about freedom, choice, and control over your time. Every asset you create is a brick in the foundation of that freedom. Every system you implement multiplies your ability to generate income without increasing your workload. And every insight you gain from this chapter and the ones that follow moves you one step closer to financial independence, the kind that lasts month after month, year after year. The silent shift of 2026 is real. It is happening right now. The question isn't whether it will affect your life, it already is. The question is whether you will ride the wave, harness its power, and create lasting monthly income, or remain stuck in the old system, trading hours for dollars, watching opportunities pass by, while others quietly take the lead. The clock is ticking, the rules are changing, and the first move you make today could define your financial life for decades. But here's the part most people miss. Knowing about the shift isn't enough. The next step is understanding exactly what type of assets generate real monthly income and how to start building them immediately. And that is where the journey truly begins. Chapter 2: Why Working Hard is No Longer Enough. Most people still believe in the age-old formula. Work hard, earn a paycheck, save diligently, and one day you will be financially free. It sounds simple, even logical, but here's the harsh truth. In 2026, this approach will no longer get you ahead. Working harder does not equal getting richer. Hours spent at a job, no matter how grueling, are finite. There is only so much energy you can give, only so many tasks you can complete, and only so many dollars your employer can pay you. That is the brutal limit of time for money work. Let's pause and picture it clearly. You wake up at 7 a.m., rush through traffic, spend 8 to 10 hours at a desk, and finally return home tired. You might get a small raise every year, perhaps a promotion if you're lucky, but for all your effort, your income barely keeps pace with inflation, bills, and life's unexpected expenses. You are busy, exhausted, and trapped in a cycle that guarantees one thing: no real freedom. The sad part? Most people think this is normal. They think working hard is the ultimate path to security. But security in this system is an illusion. Job markets are volatile. Automation is replacing tasks faster than we can learn new skills. A promotion is no longer a guarantee of financial progress, and relying on a single paycheck puts your entire life at risk. One sudden crisis, a recession, layoffs, health emergency, can erase years of hard work in a single moment. In this reality, working harder is not a strategy, it's a risk. So what separates those who thrive from those who merely survive? The answer lies in leverage. Leverage allows you to multiply your efforts, turning limited hours into unlimited results. Think about an author. A single book, once published, can generate royalties for years. A software developer creates an app that earns revenue every month while they sleep. An investor buys a rental property that produces income long after the purchase. These people are not necessarily smarter, they simply understand that working smart and owning assets is more powerful than working hard. Let's dive deeper. Time for money work ties your income directly to the hours you can provide. Your paycheck stops the moment your work stops. Assets, on the other hand, generate income independent of your active presence. They work for you continuously, and that's the fundamental principle that separates financial freedom from financial struggle. To escape the treadmill, you must transition from earning solely through effort to earning through ownership and systems. Here's a practical illustration. Imagine two people, Sarah and Mark. Sarah works 60 hours a week at a corporate job. Mark works 20 hours a week creating a digital course that teaches his unique skill. Sarah earns a fixed salary. Mark earns initial revenue from early customers, but as his course gains popularity, sales continue automatically every month and his earnings multiply while his effort remains constant. Over a few months, Mark is earning more than Sarah with significantly less stress, and his income continues without daily labor. The difference? Sarah trades time for money. Mark builds an asset that pays monthly. The psychology behind this is equally important. People often cling to hard work because it feels safe. Effort is visible, measurable, and socially praised. But assets are invisible in the beginning. They require patience, strategy, and delayed gratification. Most people give up before seeing results because they do not understand that the true reward lies in creating something that outlives their daily effort. They are trained to value effort over outcome, process over leverage, and immediacy over long-term growth. Here's another point. Financial success in the modern era is less about talent and more about strategic action. The world rewards those who create structures that generate income autonomously. The shift in 2026 accelerates this truth. Automation, AI, and global markets allow even individuals with modest resources to build revenue streams that once required entire teams or massive capital. If you continue working as you always have, you risk being left behind while others use technology and strategy to multiply their income. It's also critical to understand the concept of opportunity cost. Every hour you spend trading your life for a paycheck is an hour you could have spent building an asset. Every day you delay creating income-generating systems is a day others are getting ahead, leveraging the same opportunities you see but are too comfortable or hesitant to act on. The silent cost of working harder without strategy is not just limited to money, it's lost time, lost freedom, and lost potential. So how do you break free from this trap? Step 1 is mindset. You must see your time as a tool to build long-term income, not just to survive the month. Step 2 is education. Understand the types of assets that generate monthly income: digital products, rental properties, businesses, investments, and intellectual property. Step 3 is action. Start building, even if it's small, and focus on creating systems where your effort compounds rather than expires. Many readers might feel skeptical. Isn't building assets risky? The answer is nuanced. Yes, there is risk, but there is also risk in doing nothing. Working harder in a changing world is no longer safe. It's predictable stagnation. Creating assets involves calculated risk, research, and sometimes failure, but it also offers control, scalability, and long-term financial resilience. Risk managed intelligently is the pathway to independence, while risk ignored is the trap that keeps millions bound to paychecks for life. Let's bring it closer to reality with one more scenario. Imagine a software engineer, Alex, who earns $5,000 a month from his job. He begins creating a subscription-based service in his spare time. The first few months are slow. He earns almost nothing while learning and testing. But by the 6th month, he has 100 subscribers paying $50 each. That's $5,000 per month, equal to his job income. But now it runs independently. By the end of the first year, his subscriber base doubles, and suddenly he earns $10,000 per month while working less than before. This is the power of asset-based income, and it illustrates why working hard alone is no longer enough. Another subtle point to understand: building assets requires discipline and delayed gratification. The world has conditioned most people to want immediate rewards, visible results, and quick success. But asset creation is a marathon, not a sprint. The more patience you cultivate, the stronger your financial foundation becomes. Working hard gives you immediate energy expenditure and temporary reward. Building assets give you long-term reward and lasting freedom. As you read this chapter, reflect on your own life. How much of your current financial situation is dictated by your hours spent working rather than assets you own? How many opportunities to create recurring income have you passed up because you were too busy or too comfortable with the old way? Recognizing this gap is the first step to change. Awareness creates urgency, and urgency drives action. The reality is simple. The world is changing. The old rules of work and money are no longer reliable. If you want to succeed in 2026, you cannot rely solely on hard work. You must shift your focus from earning to owning, from trading time to creating systems, and from short-term effort to long-term growth. This is not a theory. It is a fact demonstrated by the fastest-growing income streams around the globe today. But understanding why hard work is no longer enough is only the beginning. The next crucial step is discovering the exact difference between income and assets, and how to recognize what truly generates wealth month after month, because without this knowledge, your efforts may still lead to exhaustion instead of freedom. Chapter 3: The Difference Between Income and Assets. Do you know the real reason most people never get rich, no matter how hard they work? What if the money you're earning right now isn't actually building your future at all? Many people confuse income with wealth. They see a paycheck hit their bank account, feel satisfied for a moment, and assume they are on the path to financial freedom. But here's the reality. Income is not the same as an asset, and this distinction is what separates the financially stuck from those who achieve true independence. Understanding this difference is critical, especially in 2026, when the pace of change makes reliance on mere income riskier than ever. Let's break it down clearly. Income is money earned from work. Your salary, wages, commissions, or freelance payments. It is finite, tied to your time, and stops if your effort stops. Assets, on the other hand, are things that put money in your pocket automatically, month after month, without your continuous presence. Examples include rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, digital products, businesses, or royalties. Assets are the engine that allows money to grow independently of your daily work. Consider this. Two people earn $5,000 per month. Person A works at a corporate job, trading 40 hours of effort per week for that paycheck. Person B invests in a small rental property that produces $5,000 in monthly rent. Who is truly building wealth? The first person is earning, but the money vanishes as soon as expenses arise. The second person owns an asset that continuously generates income. The difference is subtle but monumental. Income is temporary, assets are permanent. The danger of relying solely on income is invisible until it's too late. Life is unpredictable. Jobs can be lost. Businesses can fail. Economic shifts can erode salaries. Relying on income alone is like building a house on sand. It looks stable, but the moment a storm comes, it collapses. Assets, however, are like foundations built on rock. They weather economic changes, provide recurring cash flow, and eventually generate wealth that compounds over time. Let's make this even more tangible with another scenario. Imagine you earn $3,000 per month from your job. If you save diligently, invest wisely, and live frugally, you might build a modest nest egg over years. But now imagine instead that you invest your effort into creating a digital course or writing an ebook. Each sale not only generates immediate income, but also continues to earn every month with minimal additional effort. That single asset eventually surpasses the limits of a paycheck, allowing you to earn without trading more of your life. This is the power of assets over income. Now, it's crucial to understand that not all assets are equal. Some assets are passive. They work for you without your daily involvement. Others are active. They require ongoing management. The key is to focus on income-generating assets, especially those that can operate independently. For instance, a rental property may need occasional oversight, but generally produces steady cash flow. A YouTube channel, once monetized, can earn revenue while you sleep. Software, courses, and royalties all follow the same principle. The common thread is money flowing without time being traded directly for it. Another concept that's often overlooked is the compounding power of assets. When you own multiple assets, their income can be reinvested to create more assets, producing a snowball effect. This is what transforms small beginnings into financial independence. Someone who understands income versus assets doesn't just work to survive. They work strategically to own the means of earning, multiplying their monthly income exponentially. Many readers might wonder, isn't income still important? Absolutely. Income is the fuel for building assets. Without it, you can't invest, create, or leverage new opportunities. But the mistake most people make is confusing the fuel with the engine. Income feeds you temporarily. Assets feed you indefinitely. Understanding this distinction changes everything about how you approach work, savings, and investment. Here's an example of how this plays out in the modern world. Alex, a software engineer, works 40 hours a week for $6,000 per month. He spends weekends creating a mobile app that automates a specific task for small businesses. The first month, he earns almost nothing from it, but by month 6, he has 500 users paying $10 per month. That's $5,000, almost his full salary, without working additional hours. By year 1, the user base grows to 2,000, creating $20,000 monthly revenue. The work was front-loaded. The income now flows as an asset. This illustrates how assets multiply impact, while income alone caps potential. Let's also address a common misconception. People often assume that to build assets, you need a lot of money up front. That's not necessarily true. While some assets require initial investment, many modern opportunities, digital products, online courses, blogs, affiliate marketing, require more time, creativity, and strategy than cash. The barrier to entry has never been lower. Anyone with knowledge, persistence, and patience can create income-generating assets. Understanding the difference between income and assets also helps you identify financial traps. Many people spend their lives earning to spend, using every paycheck to cover expenses, luxuries, and short-term desires. This lifestyle creates a cycle of dependence, leaving no room for asset creation. When you shift focus from income to assets, every dollar is evaluated for its potential to produce recurring income. This mindset separates asset builders from wage earners and is critical to thriving in 2026. Another factor to consider is control. Income often depends on external factors: bosses, clients, economic conditions. Assets, when structured properly, put you in control. A business you own, a digital platform you manage, or an investment property you possess allows you to dictate terms, grow scale, and protect your financial future. Income alone rarely gives this level of autonomy. To summarize this critical principle, income equals money earned from effort, finite, temporary, and dependent on your time. Assets are things that generate money independently, permanent, scalable, and compounding. Goal is use income to create assets that generate recurring monthly income. When this understanding clicks, everything changes. You stop obsessing over overtime, raises, and promotions. Instead, you ask, what can I build once that will continue to pay me month after month? This question is the foundation of wealth creation in 2026 and beyond. Finally, remember this: knowing the difference between income and assets is only the beginning. Most people intellectually understand it but fail to act. The true power comes from implementation. Building assets requires strategy, courage, and consistency. But once you start, the results compound in ways that no paycheck can match. The next step is even more critical. You now understand why income is limited and assets are powerful. But what drives people to think like asset builders? The answer lies in mindset, psychology, and the secret habits that separate financial leaders from the rest. In Chapter 4, we will uncover the psychology of asset builders and how to train yourself to think, act, and earn like the financially free.
Chapter 4: The Psychology of Asset Builders. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly create wealth while others struggle despite working tirelessly? What if the difference isn't talent, luck, or opportunity, but mindset? Building assets that pay you monthly is not just about money, strategies, or technology. It's about thinking differently. The psychology of asset builders separates them from the crowd. While most people chase the next paycheck, asset builders focus on long-term results, leverage, and systems that work independently. In 2026, this mindset isn't just an advantage, it's a necessity. Without it, all the knowledge and tools in the world will leave you spinning your wheels. The first principle is ownership thinking. Most people think like employees: I work, I earn, I spend. Asset builders think differently. How can I make my work continue generating income without my presence? This shift in perspective turns every action into an opportunity for long-term gain. Every skill, every idea, every hour spent is evaluated for its potential to create something that lasts. Consider the story of Mia, a freelance designer. She realized early that trading hours for dollars would never make her financially independent. Instead of taking every client project, she spent time creating a template library that businesses could subscribe to. The initial work was intense, but within months, the templates were selling repeatedly, generating steady monthly income. Her mindset was different. She valued creation over transaction, leverage over effort. That is the hallmark of an asset builder. The second principle is delayed gratification. While most people want instant results, fast promotions, quick returns, immediate approval, asset builders embrace the long game. They understand that real wealth comes from patience, consistency, and disciplined execution. This doesn't mean ignoring short-term needs. It means making decisions that favor sustainable income over temporary satisfaction. For example, consider Alex, who started a digital subscription service. The first few months, he earned almost nothing. Most people would quit, frustrated at the lack of immediate results. But Alex persisted, understanding that the compounding power of his work would pay off. By the end of the first year, his subscribers multiplied and his monthly income skyrocketed.
This ability to delay gratification, to focus on future gains rather than immediate rewards, is a psychological trait that separates asset builders from the average worker. Another key trait is risk tolerance combined with calculated action. Asset builders understand that every venture carries risk, but they approach it strategically. They analyze opportunities, weigh outcomes, and act decisively. Most people avoid risk altogether or act recklessly. The difference is subtle but profound. Asset builders are willing to step out of their comfort zone, knowing that calculated risk is the pathway to growth. Take the example of Sam, an entrepreneur who invested in a small e-commerce platform. Initially, it seemed risky, and many doubted his idea. But Sam spent time researching, testing small campaigns, and gradually scaling. The risk was measured, and the reward was exponential. By embracing controlled risk, he turned a small investment into a monthly income powerhouse. Closely related to risk tolerance is resilience. Asset builders expect setbacks and prepare them mentally. Failure is not fatal, it's a learning opportunity. When a project falters, they analyze, adjust, and continue. Most people, by contrast, see failure as the end of the road. They quit, blaming circumstances rather than examining their strategy. Resilience is the mental armor that allows asset builders to keep moving, even when progress is slow or unexpected challenges arise. Next is visionary thinking. Asset builders think beyond the present moment. They imagine what their financial life could look like in months, years, or decades. This vision guides their decisions, influencing where they invest time, energy, and resources. Without vision, it's easy to get trapped in short-term thinking, focusing only on paychecks or small wins. Vision transforms effort into purpose, action into strategy, and ideas into income-generating assets. Equally important is habitual learning. Asset builders constantly seek knowledge. They read, observe, experiment, and adapt. The financial landscape is shifting rapidly, especially in 2026. Technologies, platforms, and markets evolve faster than ever before. Those who remain stagnant in skills and knowledge will be left behind. Learning is not optional. It's the fuel for building sustainable assets and maintaining long-term growth. An often overlooked trait is gratitude and awareness. Asset builders understand the value of what they already have, skills, networks, small resources, and leverage these assets effectively. Instead of lamenting scarcity, they maximize utility, turning even limited resources into income-producing opportunities. This mindset creates creativity, focus, and momentum. Let's look at a practical example of how psychology impacts asset building. Consider two people with identical skills and capital, Jane and Leo. Jane sees her capital as money to spend or hoard. Leo sees his capital as a tool to generate recurring income. Jane invests sporadically, reacts emotionally to market fluctuations, and abandons projects when immediate returns don't appear. Leo invests strategically, builds systems, and treats early failures as lessons. Within a few years, Leo's monthly income far surpasses Jane's, not because he had better skills, but because his psychology was aligned with asset creation. Another critical psychological aspect is focus. Asset builders do not scatter their energy across dozens of minor projects. They select high-impact opportunities and dedicate sustained effort until results compound. In a world filled with distractions, social media, consumerism, endless entertainment, focus is the silent superpower that allows assets to grow efficiently. Finally, asset builders develop financial intuition. They recognize opportunities that others overlook, understand which ideas can become scalable income streams, and know when to pivot. This intuition is cultivated through experience, learning, and reflection. It allows them to act decisively and confidently, creating assets that not only generate income, but grow over time. When you combine all these traits, ownership thinking, delayed gratification, calculated risk-taking, resilience, visionary perspective, continual learning, gratitude, focus, and financial intuition, you begin to see why asset builders succeed where most fail. Psychology is not secondary, it is the foundation. Without it, all the best strategies, tools, or knowledge will falter. Now that you understand the mindset of asset builders, the next step is to explore the tangible types of assets that actually generate monthly income. In Chapter 5, we will dive into digital assets, modern opportunities that allow you to earn while you sleep, travel, or live life on your terms. The future of income is digital, and the next chapter will show you exactly how to harness it.
Chapter 5: Digital Assets That Pay While You Sleep. Have you ever dreamed of earning money while you sleep, travel, or live your life freely? What if the tools to make this a reality are already in your hands, but most people are too distracted to notice? The digital era has created one of the most powerful opportunities for asset builders in history. Unlike traditional assets like rental properties or businesses that require physical presence, digital assets can generate income 24/7, anywhere in the world, often with minimal ongoing effort. In 2026, this is no longer optional. It's a critical path to building freedom, financial stability, and independence. But to succeed, you must understand the principles behind digital asset creation and how to leverage them effectively. So, what exactly is a digital asset? Simply put, it is anything created in the digital space that produces recurring revenue. This can include online courses, subscription services, ebooks, software, mobile apps, blogs, YouTube channels, and membership sites. The common thread is that once created, these assets can continuously earn money without your constant input. They leverage your initial effort into long-term, scalable income. Imagine the simplicity of this concept. You spend a few weeks creating an online course teaching a skill you know well. Once launched, people from around the world can purchase your course every month. Your income is no longer tied to your hours. You are being paid for value you created once, over and over again. This is the foundation of digital asset wealth. The first principle of successful digital asset creation is finding your niche. You must identify a skill, knowledge area, or solution that people need consistently. Digital assets succeed when they solve real problems or fulfill desires. The broader the appeal, the higher the potential income, but even small niches can generate substantial revenue if approached strategically. For example, a course teaching a rare software skill may attract only a few hundred customers, but at $200 per course, that can easily become a $40,000 monthly income stream. Niche markets often have less competition, making them ideal for asset builders. Next is creating value once, monetizing repeatedly. The most effective digital assets don't require constant updates or active management. Ebooks, templates, and recorded courses are perfect examples. You invest effort up front to produce something of high value, then market it strategically to your audience. With automation tools, sales pages, and subscription models, these assets can earn money continuously. This principle separates successful digital asset builders from those who treat online projects like side hustles. They understand compounding effort. Automation is the secret sauce. Digital assets thrive when you automate processes such as marketing, sales, and delivery. Tools like email marketing sequences, payment processors, and online platforms allow your asset to operate independently. You might spend a few hours setting up an automated system, but afterward, the asset sells itself, bringing in monthly income without daily intervention. This is how digital assets scale far beyond what traditional work can offer. One of the most exciting aspects of digital assets is global reach. Unlike a physical business limited to a local market, your asset can be purchased by anyone, anywhere.
A YouTube video tutorial can attract viewers worldwide, a subscription service can bill customers from multiple countries, and an app can be downloaded across continents. This reach amplifies income potential exponentially. The digital economy allows even a single person to create revenue streams that rival traditional corporations. Let's explore a real-world example. Emma, a graphic designer, decided to create a set of templates for small businesses. She uploaded them to a platform where customers could purchase licenses monthly. Initially, sales were slow, but over 6 months, her automated marketing and global reach created a recurring income of $5,000 per month. Today, she barely spends an hour per week managing the asset, yet it continues to pay reliably. This illustrates the scalable, low-maintenance power of digital assets. Another principle is diversification. Relying on a single digital asset can be risky as markets fluctuate and trends change. Asset builders often create multiple digital products or income streams. For instance, an online course can be complemented by a membership site, ebook, and YouTube channel. Each asset contributes to monthly income, creating a resilient financial ecosystem. In 2026, this diversified digital portfolio is one of the fastest ways to secure consistent passive revenue. Content creation is the bloodline of digital assets. Whether it's written, audio, or video content, high-quality, valuable content attracts customers, builds trust, and creates long-term engagement. Digital asset builders understand that content is not just information, it's a tool for monetization and authority building. A well-crafted blog, YouTube channel, or podcast can become a recurring revenue stream, a lead generator, and a platform for launching additional assets. Many aspiring creators hesitate because they fear technical challenges. The truth is, tools in 2026 make digital asset creation easier than ever. Platforms like Teachable, Gumroad, Substack, Shopify, and AI-powered design tools allow anyone to create, publish, and monetize digital products with minimal technical expertise. The barrier to entry has never been lower. The only limit is your willingness to start. Marketing is another critical element. A digital asset without visibility rarely earns. Successful asset builders use targeted marketing strategies, social media, SEO, and email automation to drive traffic and conversions. But unlike traditional businesses, the marketing effort can also be automated, allowing your asset to continuously generate income while you focus on creating new products or improving existing ones. Let's also highlight subscription-based models, one of the most effective ways to build predictable monthly income. Services like membership sites, software subscriptions, or ongoing content subscriptions allow recurring billing. Once a customer subscribes, they provide continuous income until they cancel. This model turns one-time effort into sustainable revenue, reducing the volatility common with single-sale products. Digital assets also offer flexibility and freedom. You're not tied to a location, time, or rigid schedule. Whether you travel, spend time with family, or explore other ventures, your digital asset continues generating income. This is why asset builders value digital income highly. They combine scalability, freedom, and longevity in a way traditional work cannot match. However, the most critical mindset to embrace is long-term perspective. Success with digital assets doesn't always come instantly. Some products may take months to gain traction, and early setbacks are common. Patience, consistency, and continual learning are essential. Asset builders treat early challenges as stepping stones, not roadblocks. They know that every system they build compounds, and over time, the results become significant. In summary, digital assets are the cornerstone of modern wealth building. They allow you to create recurring income independent of your time, reach global markets and scale easily, automate processes for efficiency and sustainability, diversify income streams to reduce risk, combine freedom, flexibility, and financial security. When understood and implemented correctly, digital assets can transform your financial life. They're not a gimmick or a get-rich-quick scheme. They are strategic, scalable, and sustainable income machines. And the sooner you start, the sooner you can enjoy the freedom that comes from being paid while you sleep. Now that you understand the power of digital assets, the next step is to explore business systems that run without you. In Chapter 6, we will uncover how to design real-world income engines that continue producing revenue even when you step away, travel, or focus on new opportunities. This is where the concept of freedom truly begins.
Chapter 6. Business Systems That Run Without You. What if your business could make money even when you're on vacation, asleep, or completely offline? Wouldn't that be the ultimate proof that you've escaped the chains of trading time for money? The dream of financial freedom isn't just about earning more, it's about creating systems that work independently. In 2026, asset builders understand a fundamental truth. Working harder or longer will never equal the freedom that comes from well-designed business systems. These systems allow your income to flow consistently without demanding your constant attention. The key is to think of your business not as a job, but as a machine, and every component you build becomes a gear that keeps money moving even when you're away. Most people confuse entrepreneurship with relentless effort. They picture a business owner working 16-hour days, responding to every email, solving every customer problem, and making all decisions personally. While effort is necessary at the start, this approach is not sustainable. In reality, true asset builders focus on building self-sustaining systems. The goal is simple: design a business that operates without depending entirely on you. Once established, these systems allow you to scale, focus on growth, and enjoy freedom, while the income continues flowing. At the heart of these systems is automation. Automation eliminates repetitive tasks, reduces errors, and frees up your time. This can include automated email sequences, payment processing, customer onboarding, inventory management, or even social media marketing. By embedding automation into your business, you create a structure that continues to function flawlessly without daily supervision. The beauty of automation is that it transforms once labor-intensive tasks into continuous income streams. Consider Laura, an entrepreneur who runs an online fitness subscription. Initially, she personally managed sign-ups, answered questions, and tracked payments. As her subscriber base grew, the workload became overwhelming. She implemented automated onboarding emails, scheduled content releases, and payment processing tools. Suddenly, she could focus on content creation and strategic growth instead of day-to-day tasks. Her system now runs independently, generating monthly income with minimal direct effort. Another critical element is delegation and outsourcing. Even with automation, some tasks require human intervention: customer support, content creation, or specialized technical work. Asset builders recognize that their time is the most valuable resource. They hire or outsource strategically, ensuring that others handle operational tasks while they focus on high-impact decisions and growth strategies. This mindset shifts you from being the laborer to being the designer of the system, the architect of income. Standardization is equally essential. Business systems function best when tasks and processes are standardized. By documenting workflows, creating templates, and establishing clear procedures, you reduce dependency on specific individuals and prevent errors. Standardization ensures that the system continues operating efficiently whether you're present or absent. For instance, a subscription box service can standardize packaging, inventory tracking, and shipping procedures. Once these systems are in place, the business can scale without a proportional increase in your effort. Let's examine another case: Mark, who owns a digital marketing agency. At first, he handled every client personally: strategy, execution, reporting. He realized he was trading his time for revenue and could never grow without exhaustion. He restructured his business. Junior team members handled routine tasks.
Automated reporting software generated analytics for clients, and Mark focused solely on high-level strategy and new client acquisition. His system now produces revenue consistently even when he takes weeks off. Scalability is a direct benefit of business systems. When a business depends solely on your presence, growth is limited by your hours. Systems, automation, and delegation remove this limitation. They allow your business to expand geographically, serve more customers, and generate higher income without increasing your workload proportionally. A systemized business becomes self-replicating, capable of producing more revenue with each iteration while requiring minimal intervention. Monitoring and optimization are the next critical components. Even self-sustaining systems require occasional oversight. Asset builders regularly analyze performance, identify bottlenecks, and make small adjustments to improve efficiency. This proactive approach ensures the system evolves with changing markets, customer needs, and technology trends, keeping income consistent and scalable. The goal is continuous improvement without daily dependence on your personal effort. It's also essential to integrate multiple income streams within your systems. A single revenue source is vulnerable to market shifts. By creating complementary streams, such as online courses, subscription services, and digital products, you protect your business from disruption. Each income stream is a cog in the overall system, providing resilience and stability. When one stream slows, others continue producing, maintaining overall cash flow. Psychology plays a vital role as well. Many business owners struggle with letting go of control. They believe that only they can handle critical tasks. But asset builders recognize that trying to do everything personally is a trap. Trusting your systems, team, and automation is essential. Confidence in your design allows you to step back, focus on growth opportunities, and enjoy the freedom your systems provide. Let's bring this into sharper focus with an example from e-commerce. Emma runs an online store selling niche products. Initially, she managed inventory, customer support, and order fulfillment herself. As the business grew, she implemented automated order processing, outsourced customer support to a remote team, and integrated inventory management software. Today, Emma's business generates $15,000 per month with minimal daily involvement. The system functions independently, and Emma now spends her time exploring new products, marketing strategies, and personal growth. Another powerful strategy is leveraging technology for continuous improvement. Modern software and AI tools can predict customer behavior, optimize marketing campaigns, and streamline operations. The asset builder who uses these technologies gains a massive advantage, turning small efficiency gains into significant income increases. This approach allows the business to run smarter, not harder, and aligns perfectly with the goal of building systems that generate recurring monthly income. Finally, the ultimate goal of a systemized business is freedom of choice. You decide when to work, where to live, and how to spend your time. The system you create is no longer dependent on your physical presence, energy, or attention. You've transitioned from trading hours for money to owning an income engine that works continuously, scales automatically, and compounds over time. This is the essence of financial freedom in 2026. To summarize the core principles of business systems that run without you: automation, eliminate repetitive tasks and let technology handle operations; delegation, hire or outsource tasks to free your time for high-value decisions; standardization, create workflows and templates for consistent performance; scalability, build systems that can grow without a proportional increase in effort; monitoring and optimization, track performance and refine processes to maintain efficiency; multiple streams, diversify income sources within your system to reduce risk; psychology of trust, step back and let your systems and team function independently. When implemented correctly, these principles allow you to create an income-generating machine, a business that operates seamlessly while you focus on innovation, growth, or personal freedom. Systems are the bridge between effort-based income and true financial independence.
Now that you understand how to build systems that operate without you, the next challenge is to combine these strategies with real-world, tangible assets that generate monthly cash flow. In Chapter 7, we will explore physical and traditional assets and how they can complement digital systems to create unstoppable recurring income.
Chapter 7: Physical and Traditional Assets that Generate Monthly Income. Have you ever thought that tangible, real-world assets could work for you every single month? What if combining the digital world with traditional income streams could make your wealth unstoppable? While digital assets are powerful and scalable, the foundation of true financial security often lies in physical and traditional assets. These are assets you can see, touch, and control, like real estate, rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, businesses, and intellectual property with real-world applications. Combining these with digital systems creates a diversified, resilient income machine that generates monthly cash flow regardless of market volatility or global disruptions. Let's start with one of the most common physical assets: real estate. Real estate has been a cornerstone of wealth for centuries because it provides predictable, recurring income. Rental properties, for example, produce monthly rent that can cover expenses and generate profit. Unlike income from a job, this income isn't tied to your presence. Properly managed, real estate becomes a reliable cash flow engine. Consider the case of Daniel, who invested in a small apartment complex. He hired a property management company to handle tenant issues, maintenance, and rent collection. Daniel now earns $7,000 per month with minimal involvement. His initial effort, selecting the property, securing financing, and creating the management system, continues to pay dividends every month. This illustrates how real estate, when paired with systems and proper management, becomes a passive income-generating asset. Another traditional asset is dividend-paying stocks. Unlike growth stocks, which rely on appreciation for profit, dividend stocks provide regular payouts, essentially monthly or quarterly income. By investing strategically, you can build a portfolio that produces reliable cash flow independent of your job. Over time, reinvesting these dividends accelerates wealth creation, compounding your monthly income into significant financial freedom. Let's not forget traditional businesses. Owning a local service, franchise, or small enterprise can generate consistent revenue while leveraging employees and processes. The key is to build systems within the business, ensuring it doesn't require constant intervention. For example, a laundromat, car wash, or small retail shop can produce steady cash flow when structured efficiently with employees and automation handling day-to-day operations. This allows the owner to step back while income continues uninterrupted. Intellectual property is another form of traditional asset that often overlaps with digital. Books, patents, and licensed products generate ongoing revenue with relatively low ongoing effort. For instance, an author may earn royalties from books published years ago, or an inventor may earn licensing fees for a patented technology. These assets are powerful because they combine ownership, legal protection, and recurring revenue, elements that define long-term financial stability. Diversification is critical when combining physical and traditional assets. Relying solely on one type of asset, whether digital or physical, introduces risk. Economic shifts, market changes, and unexpected events can affect income streams. By combining rental properties, stocks, business ownership, and intellectual property, you create a resilient portfolio that balances risk and ensures continuous monthly income. This multi-asset approach is a hallmark of successful asset builders in 2026 and beyond. One of the most significant advantages of physical assets is control. Unlike purely digital or market-dependent income, you can actively influence the performance of your real-world assets. You can increase rent, improve property value, optimize operations, or innovate within your business. This sense of control gives you not only financial returns, but also strategic leverage, allowing you to adapt to changes and protect your wealth. Take the example of Sophia, who owns several rental properties and a small local cafe. By standardizing processes in the cafe and hiring skilled managers, she reduced her daily workload. Meanwhile, she strategically upgrades her rental properties, increasing their value and monthly income. Sophia's combined portfolio, digital systems, rental income, and business revenue produces over $20,000 per month. She enjoys the freedom to travel, focus on new projects, and explore personal goals. This is the power of diversified, systemized assets. Financial literacy is essential for managing these assets. Understanding market trends, cash flow, taxation, and risk mitigation allows asset builders to make informed decisions. Ignorance can turn a promising asset into a financial burden. In 2026, knowledge and strategy are as important as the asset itself. Without proper understanding, even high-potential properties, businesses, or investments can underperform or become liabilities. Another overlooked advantage of physical assets is leverage. In real estate, you can use financing to acquire larger properties than your cash alone would allow, amplifying returns. In business, leveraging employees, technology, and partnerships allows you to scale without increasing your personal effort. Asset builders use leverage strategically to maximize income while minimizing personal time investment. Let's examine risk management. Every asset carries risk, vacancies, market downturns, or operational challenges. Successful asset builders anticipate and mitigate these risks. They diversify, maintain reserves, and implement systems to handle unexpected events. This proactive approach turns potential threats into manageable variables, ensuring your income remains predictable and stable. Psychology plays a role here as well. Many people hesitate to invest in physical or traditional assets because of fear of debt, failure, or market changes. Asset builders, however, view calculated risk as opportunity. They understand that careful planning, knowledge, and strategy reduce risk while creating income-generating potential. The mindset of calculated courage separates successful builders from those who never act. One of the most powerful strategies is combining digital and physical assets. For example, you might own rental properties generating passive income while simultaneously running a digital course or e-commerce business. Each system complements the other, creating multiple independent streams of monthly income. This hybrid approach increases resilience and maximizes the potential for wealth creation. Here's a real-world example. Michael owns 3 rental properties, a small marketing agency, and a digital training platform. His rental income covers living expenses, his agency generates monthly profits through managed clients, and his digital platform brings in recurring subscription revenue. Each income stream is independent but synergistic, allowing him to scale, reinvest, and maintain freedom. Michael is no longer tied to a job, location, or daily effort. The combination of physical and digital assets powers his financial independence. To summarize, physical and traditional assets provide predictable, recurring income, offer leverage and control for strategic growth, can be combined with digital assets for diversified income streams, require financial literacy, risk management, and strategic planning, produce long-term wealth and stability that complements systemized digital income. The key takeaway is simple. Relying on a single type of asset, digital or physical, is risky. Combining both with proper systems and strategy creates a resilient and unstoppable machine that generates income every month regardless of circumstances. Now that you understand physical and traditional assets, the next step is learning how to identify the most profitable opportunities and structure them for maximum monthly income. In Chapter 8, we will explore asset selection, evaluation, and implementation strategies, showing you how to make informed, strategic decisions that transform effort into long-term freedom.
Chapter 8. Identifying Profitable Assets and Opportunities. Do you know why some investments flourish while others quietly drain your money? What if the difference isn't luck, but knowing exactly how to spot opportunities others overlook?
Understanding the types of assets is one thing, but knowing which assets to choose and how to evaluate them for monthly income potential is where most people fail. In 2026, the market is overflowing with options: digital products, rental properties, stocks, businesses, and even emerging technologies. The key is not doing everything, it's doing the right things consistently and strategically. Asset builders don't chase every opportunity. They identify profitable ones with precision, then focus their time, energy, and resources on growth. The first principle of identifying profitable assets is cash flow over hype. Many beginners are dazzled by potential appreciation or trendy opportunities, ignoring the importance of steady monthly income. While long-term growth is attractive, it often comes with uncertainty. Monthly cash flow, rental income, subscription revenue, dividends, or recurring service fees ensures that your life is financially supported while your assets grow. The secret to stability and freedom is prioritizing assets that produce consistent, predictable income first. Consider two opportunities: a piece of land that might double in value over 10 years and a small rental property generating monthly income. The land is appealing in theory, but it doesn't help you pay your bills today. The rental property provides both cash flow and potential appreciation, delivering immediate and long-term value. Profitable asset builders understand this distinction and never confuse potential with actual monthly revenue. The second principle is due diligence. Every asset requires careful evaluation before investment. For real estate, this includes location, demand, maintenance costs, and tenant reliability. For digital products, it's niche demand, competition, scalability, and ongoing support. For stocks, it's financial health, dividend history, and market trends. The goal is to reduce risk while maximizing predictable returns. Rushed or uninformed decisions are the fastest way to lose capital and stall progress. Let's take a real-world example. Alex considered investing in a vacation rental in a popular city. Without analyzing occupancy rates, maintenance fees, and seasonal fluctuations, he might have lost money in slow months. Instead, he researched the market, calculated expected monthly income, and hired a property manager. The result? Reliable monthly cash flow that exceeded his original projections. This illustrates the importance of careful evaluation before committing resources. Another critical principle is scalability. Not all assets grow proportionally with effort or time. A single rental property might produce modest income, but multiple units, a digital course platform, or a growing e-commerce store can scale significantly. Asset builders evaluate whether an asset can multiply revenue without requiring a linear increase in effort. This ensures your income grows faster than your workload. Next is alignment with your skills, knowledge, and interests. Profitable assets aren't just about numbers, they are easier to manage and grow if they align with your expertise. A designer creating templates will likely outperform someone randomly entering a digital business without relevant skills. Similarly, a person knowledgeable about real estate trends will select better properties than someone unfamiliar with the market. Aligning assets with your strengths reduces friction, risk, and learning time, accelerating success. Timing is another factor. In 2026, certain markets are booming while others plateau. Understanding trends, emerging technologies, and shifts in consumer behavior can give you an edge. Asset builders combine market awareness with calculated risk-taking to enter opportunities at the optimal moment, maximizing monthly returns. Waiting too long or acting impulsively can mean missing critical income-generating windows. Another key approach is diversification within your asset portfolio. Placing all your resources in one type of asset, be it digital, physical, or financial, is risky. A diversified portfolio spreads risk, ensures consistent cash flow, and creates stability. For example, combining a rental property with a digital subscription platform and dividend-paying stocks ensures that if one asset underperforms, the others continue generating monthly income. Diversification is not just safety, it's a strategic multiplier of financial stability. Leverage plays a significant role in identifying profitable opportunities. In real estate, using financing can amplify returns. In digital assets, leveraging platforms, partnerships, and automation can scale revenue quickly. Asset builders use leverage intelligently, understanding when it enhances returns and when it increases risk. Properly applied, leverage turns small investments into substantial monthly income streams. Another subtle principle is networking and mentorship. Surrounding yourself with experienced asset builders exposes you to opportunities you might never see alone. They provide insights, feedback, and guidance on evaluating profitability, avoiding mistakes, and scaling income streams. Learning from others' successes and failures accelerates your journey to building reliable monthly cash flow. Let's examine a practical evaluation method for a potential asset. Income potential? What is the expected monthly cash flow? Is it predictable? Risk assessment. What could go wrong? How volatile is the market? Scalability. Can this asset grow without requiring exponential effort? Alignment. Do your skills, knowledge, or interest make this asset manageable? Time frame. How long until the asset produces significant income? Leverage opportunities. Can you use financing, partnerships, or automation to enhance returns? Answering these questions thoroughly ensures you focus only on assets with high potential for monthly income, avoiding distractions, hype, or low-return projects. Profitable asset builders follow a disciplined, repeatable evaluation system that filters opportunities efficiently. Another important aspect is exit strategy planning. Even profitable assets may eventually require selling, upgrading, or repositioning. Asset builders consider the end game before investing. If an asset stops producing income, how can it be liquidated or repurposed? This forward-thinking approach ensures continued monthly cash flow and prevents financial stagnation. Finally, the psychology of decision confidence is essential. Many hesitate due to fear of failure, market volatility, or analysis paralysis. Profitable asset builders acknowledge fear, but rely on structured evaluation, data, and calculated risks to make informed decisions. They act decisively, knowing that inaction is often the greatest threat to monthly income and long-term wealth. In summary, identifying profitable assets and opportunities requires prioritizing monthly cash flow over speculative hype, performing due diligence to reduce risk and ensure returns, ensuring scalability for long-term growth, aligning with your skills, knowledge, and interests, monitoring timing and market trends, diversifying across multiple income streams, applying leverage wisely to amplify results, seeking mentorship and networking for guidance, planning exit strategies for flexibility, and acting with confidence based on structured evaluation. Mastering these principles transforms you from a passive participant in the market to a strategic asset builder, capable of creating multiple, independent streams of recurring monthly income. This is the foundation for freedom, resilience, and financial empowerment in 2026 and beyond. Now that you know how to identify profitable assets, the next step is learning how to structure them for maximum efficiency and recurring income. In Chapter 9, we'll uncover the systems, tools, and strategies to organize your assets, ensuring every investment produces predictable, scalable, and unstoppable monthly revenue.
Chapter 11. Turning Assets into True Freedom. What if you could wake up tomorrow and know your bills, lifestyle, and dreams are fully supported without lifting a finger? Wouldn't that be the ultimate proof that your assets are working harder than you ever could? Building assets is one thing, but transforming them into true freedom is where most people stumble. In 2026, financial independence is no longer just a dream. It's achievable for anyone who structures assets strategically, builds recurring income, and designs a life around liberty rather than labor. The real question isn't how much money you earn, it's how your money works for you.
True freedom comes when your assets generate enough consistent monthly income to cover your lifestyle, allow growth, and absorb unexpected challenges. At this point, you are no longer trading time for money. Your life is no longer dictated by schedules, jobs, or external pressures. Instead, your assets, digital, physical, and leveraged, produce a reliable cash flow that fuels your choices. The first principle is income sufficiency. You must calculate your essential monthly expenses, lifestyle desires, and reinvestment goals. This number becomes your baseline target for asset-generated income. Whether it's $5,000, $20,000, or $50,000 per month, the goal is to ensure that your assets consistently deliver this amount without personal intervention. Understanding this baseline allows you to measure freedom objectively rather than subjectively. Consider Kevin, who owns a mix of rental properties, digital assets, and dividend stocks. He carefully calculated his essential monthly expenses and structured his assets to produce $12,000 per month. Once that income was secured, he stopped worrying about traditional work. He had achieved freedom, not just from wealth alone, but from the constant need to work for money. The second principle is asset alignment with life goals. Freedom isn't just financial, it's the ability to spend time on what truly matters: family, travel, personal growth, or creative pursuits. Asset builders align their investments to support both financial and personal objectives. For example, a digital asset might allow remote work from anywhere, while rental properties provide predictable income that frees time for passion projects. Aligning assets with lifestyle ensures that freedom is holistic, not just monetary. Diversification is another critical element. True freedom doesn't rely on a single income stream or asset type. By combining digital assets, physical investments, leveraged opportunities, and traditional income sources, you create resilient monthly cash flow. Even if one asset underperforms temporarily, others compensate, maintaining the standard of living and financial independence. Diversification transforms freedom from fragile to unshakable. Automation and systems are equally essential. Assets can generate income, but poorly structured systems require constant attention, reducing the essence of freedom. By automating processes, whether it's tenant management, digital product delivery, or subscription billing, you free your time while preserving income. True freedom is achieved when your assets operate independently, giving you control without responsibility. Let's explore an example. Rebecca owns 3 rental properties, a subscription-based digital course platform, and a portfolio of dividend stocks. She implemented property management software, automated email marketing, and outsourced content updates. Each asset produces income with minimal input, allowing Rebecca to travel the world while her monthly cash flow continues uninterrupted. This is freedom in action, money working for her, not the other way around. Another principle is risk mitigation for sustainability. Financial freedom is not about living on the edge, it's about stability. Asset builders plan for contingencies, emergency funds, insurance, diverse income sources, and strategic reinvestment. By anticipating challenges and protecting cash flow, you ensure that freedom persists even in economic downturns or unforeseen events. Leverage, which we discussed in previous chapters, amplifies freedom exponentially. By responsibly using other people's money, expertise, and networks, you can expand income streams faster than personal resources alone would allow. This accelerates reaching the income baseline necessary for true independence. The key is strategic, disciplined leverage, avoiding overextension while maximizing returns. Psychology is often overlooked in the pursuit of freedom. Many people sabotage themselves with fear, greed, or impatience. True asset builders cultivate confidence, patience, and strategic focus. They understand that freedom is a process, not an event. By consistently building, structuring, and optimizing assets, they achieve liberty in both finances and lifestyle. Another critical aspect is compounding freedom. Just as money compounds over time, freedom compounds when assets are reinvested strategically. Excess income can fund new assets, expand existing ones, or accelerate growth in digital systems. Each decision compounds both wealth and independence, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of recurring monthly income and lifestyle liberty. Let's take an illustrative example. Thomas built a portfolio of digital courses generating $4,000 per month. Instead of spending it all, he reinvested $2,000 into new courses and $2,000 into dividend stocks. Within 3 years, his portfolio grew to generate $15,000 per month without additional daily work. By structuring and compounding wisely, he achieved financial freedom with accelerating momentum. True freedom also involves flexibility and mobility. Assets that produce income independent of location or schedule allow you to live life on your terms. Digital systems, online businesses, and globally accessible investments provide this mobility. Physical assets like rental properties can be managed remotely with proper systems. Combining these ensures you are free from geographic and time constraints, a defining feature of modern asset-based freedom. Finally, freedom is about mindset. The ability to make choices without financial constraint, the confidence to take calculated risks, and the clarity to focus on meaningful goals defines true liberty. Assets are tools, but mindset converts those tools into real-world freedom. By consistently building, structuring, and leveraging assets, you achieve a life where income supports your dreams, not your obligations. To summarize, turning assets into true freedom requires income sufficiency, secure enough monthly income to cover lifestyle and growth. Asset-life alignment, ensure assets support personal goals and lifestyle. Diversification, combine digital, physical, and leveraged assets for stability. Automation and systems, enable assets to function independently. Risk mitigation, protect income streams against volatility and unforeseen events. Strategic leverage, multiply growth using other people's resources responsibly. Psychological mastery, cultivate confidence, patience, and strategic focus. Compounding freedom, reinvest excess income to accelerate growth and independence. Flexibility and mobility, design assets that allow location and time-independent living. Mindset of choice, use financial security to pursue meaningful goals. When these principles are applied, your life transforms. You no longer live paycheck to paycheck or trade hours for money. Your assets produce recurring monthly income, freeing you to choose how to spend your time, energy, and focus. Financial independence becomes tangible, scalable, and unstoppable. Cliffhanger ending. Now that your assets are working to create true freedom, the final chapter will reveal how to maintain, grow, and pass on your wealth, ensuring your income streams continue for decades, generations, or even indefinitely. In Chapter 12, we uncover the ultimate strategies to protect, expand, and perpetuate your financial empire in 2026 and beyond.
Chapter 12. The Final Step. Living Your Transformed Life. What if everything you've learned so far is only powerful when applied every single day? And what if your life's transformation depends on the moment you decide to never go back to the old you? You've journeyed through the 7 habits, morning mindset, waking with clarity and purpose, daily movement, energizing your body for action, feeding the mind, sharpening intellect and wisdom, silence, mastering your emotions and thoughts, priorities, focusing on what truly matters, self-review, seeing yourself honestly and learning, consistency, making all habits unstoppable. You've integrated them. You've sustained them. You've started seeing the transformation ripple through your life. Now the final step is to live this transformation fully every single day for the rest of your life. The power of daily action. Transformation is not a one-time event.
It's the result of small, intentional actions repeated daily. Each morning you choose clarity over chaos. Each movement you choose energy over fatigue. Each learning moment you choose growth over stagnation. Each pause you choose awareness over reaction. Each decision you choose what matters most. Each night you reflect and refine your actions. Each day you show up no matter what. This is the rhythm of transformation. This is the heartbeat of a life fully lived. Anchoring transformation in identity. The most powerful way to ensure your new life sticks is to anchor it in identity. I am someone who starts each day with purpose. I am someone who takes care of my mind, body, and emotions. I am someone who focuses on what truly matters. I am someone who reflects, learns, and improves daily. I am someone who shows up consistently no matter the circumstances. Identity shapes behavior. Habits aligned with identity are automatic, effortless, and unstoppable. When your identity becomes your guide, your transformation becomes permanent. The role of reflection and adaptation. Even at the final step, self-review is essential. Ask yourself daily, am I living in alignment with my priorities and values? Have I honored my energy and focus today? What lessons did I learn, and how can I improve tomorrow? Ask weekly, which habits need adjustment? Which routines are working perfectly? How can I create even more impact? Reflection ensures growth never stops. It turns habits into mastery. It turns effort into lifelong transformation. Consistency is the force that converts knowledge into results. Knowledge without consistency is wasted potential. Effort without regularity leads to fleeting progress. Action without alignment creates chaos. When you commit to showing up every day, even imperfectly, you cement your transformation. Consistency is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It makes transformation inevitable. Sustaining transformation through challenges. Life will test you. Obstacles will arise. Motivation will waver. Circumstances may seem impossible. This is where transformation is proven. When you persist despite setbacks. When you adjust habits but never abandon them. When you prioritize long-term impact over short-term comfort. Resilience, built through the 7 habits, ensures that you rise stronger every time. Your transformation is no longer fragile, it is permanent and unshakable. Living with purpose and impact. The final step is not only about personal growth, it's about creating impact and leaving a legacy. Your energy influences those around you. Your clarity inspires others. Your focus and consistency serve as an example. Your wisdom and reflection uplift friends, family, and colleagues. Transformation becomes a force, not just for yourself, but for the world around you. Your habits are no longer actions, they are your signature on life. The daily blueprint for lifelong transformation. Morning. Mindset plus feeding the mind plus silence. Daytime. Movement plus priorities. Evening. Self-review plus consistency. Weekly. Reflect, adapt, mentor, celebrate progress. Long-term. Align all actions with life goals, values, and purpose. Follow this blueprint consistently. Refine it as life changes. Trust the process. Watch small actions compound into extraordinary transformation. The ultimate reward for complete transformation. When you fully live your transformed life, you wake each day with purpose and clarity. You act with energy, focus, and intention. You handle challenges calmly and effectively. You influence and inspire others without effort. You end each day feeling fulfilled, knowing you've lived aligned with your values. Emotionally, this is freedom, empowerment, and fulfillment. No longer are you reactive, distracted, or uncertain. You are deliberate, intentional, and unstoppable. Your legacy in action. The final step is to live as if your daily habits are your legacy. Treat each moment as a chance to reinforce identity. Treat each action as a building block of impact. Treat each day as a step toward a life fully lived. This mindset ensures that your transformation is not temporary, it becomes permanent, visible, and influential. You are no longer a spectator of life. You are the architect of your destiny. You are a master of habits, a force of growth, and a creator of legacy. The hidden power of completion. This chapter is more than the end of a journey. It is a launching point for the rest of your life. Habits become natural extensions of identity. Transformation becomes your default state. Momentum compounds, growth never stops, and impact multiplies. This is the ultimate reward for showing up, learning, integrating, and sustaining the 7 daily habits. Take a moment. Breathe in. Reflect on how far you've come. You are no longer the person who started this journey. You are someone who wakes each day with clarity, energy, and purpose. You act with focus and intention. You review, reflect, and improve. You show up consistently even when life is hard. You create impact beyond yourself. You are unstoppable. This is more than growth. This is freedom, mastery, and legacy. This is the life you were always capable of living. And now, with every habit learned, every habit integrated, and every habit sustained, you are fully equipped to live your transformed life every single day. Your journey doesn't end here. It expands, multiplies, and evolves with every choice you make. This is your moment, your life, your transformation, your legacy.